Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tradingofftilt. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys an update on Bitcoin's wave count. I'm not going to be going too in depth on this macro count right here, but I will be covering more so this section right here. But without further ado, I will show you the macro count just to give you guys some context on what we're looking at, and that would be this right here. So this would be a primary 1, down for a primary 2, 3, or currently in a primary 4. Now let's zoom into this section right here. What we're looking at here is a expanded flat for this intermediate wave A for an A, B, C. This would be a zigzag, an A, B, C for this intermediate wave B. And then we're currently in this intermediate wave C, and there's multiple ways we can interpret it. So first of all, let's zoom into this. Let's zoom in a little bit more to the wave C. One way we can interpret it is that this is all the completion of a wave C in the case of a running flat. So to summarize, this count right here is all assuming that this is all a flat correction. And in a flat correction, you could get a running flat, in which case we do not take out these lows below wave A, or we could get an expanded flat, in which case we do take out these lows. Now, in the case of a running flat, in my opinion, we just completed a nice 5-wave impulse down. If we count this as a 1, 2, let's zoom in a little bit more. So if we count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, then we could have actually just completed this wave C of this running flat, which would have completed this primary wave 4, which is somewhere down here. So we could put this primary wave forward here in the case of a running flat. And it's hard to say that it's likely at this point, because running flats tend to be a little bit less common than expanded flats. So we have to wait for a little bit more confirmation to have confidence that this is the correct count. But in this case, we would expect a nice 5-wave impulse out of here, like so. And we'd ideally get in on the pullback. Now, that's one possibility in the case of a flat count. The other possibility is that this could all be the completion of a minor wave 1 down here. So instead of these all being a minor degree, these could all be a minute degree. And this could actually all be the completion of a minor wave 1 here of the wave C of the expanded flat. So let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's go back. So I'm gonna revert these back to minor degree. So in this case, we could have just put in a minor wave 1 here, and then we're gonna be coming up for this minor wave 2, which is gonna be, for all we know, around the golden pocket, which is a nice technical target to look out for a wave 2, which is gonna come in around 55 to 57K. So we don't exactly know how it's going to come up there yet. Obviously, it could come up in the wave of zigzag, or we could get a flat like so. We don't yet know how it's going to get up there. If this is a wave 2, we just kind of have to wait and see and look at the volume profile. So if the volume profile is increasing quite drastically as we make our way up, then that could be an indicator that this is actually all a running flat, that the running flat completed down here. And instead of coming up for a wave 2, we're just going to come up for this primary wave 5. So this could be all the wave 1 of the primary wave 5 if we come up like this on increasing volume. Excuse me. Now, in the case of a wave 2, we would expect decreasing volume as we get up here. Or even steady volume. So we could make our way up here like this on steadily or increasing volume. And then finally get an uptick in volume as we get a rejection. Now, that's the second possibility we need to keep in mind in terms of this flat count. The third possibility is that this is all actually an extended wave 3. So instead of considering this all the completion of a 5-wave impulse for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we could actually consider the wave 1 here. Upper wave 2, so it would look like this. 1, 2, so this would be a minor wave 1, 2. And this would actually all be a minute 1, 2. This would be a minute 3, or coming up for a minute 4, before we come down for this minute 5 to complete this minor wave 3. So this is basically all assuming that we're in an extended wave 3. which is definitely a possibility we need to keep in mind. So in this case, instead of coming up, way up here for this wave 2, we could simply just come up to this order block right here and get a rejection. Now, an easy invalidation of this count would simply be just coming above the low put in of wave 1. So in the case of this Coinbase, this is the Coinbase chart, coming above about 42.3K, because in that case we'd be moving into the price territory of wave 1, which would invalidate this section being an extended wave 3. So if we were to move into the territory of wave 1, that would give me more confidence that we're probably going to move higher, at least to the top of this range right here around 52K, or even up to this order block right here. So those are three possibilities we need to keep in mind in terms of the flat count. Now there's some other counts we could be looking at. I'm not a fan of this triangle count, as I mentioned in my previous video, because the volume profile does not match up. We're getting increasing volume throughout the progression of this triangle. We should be getting decreasing volume if it was a triangle, indeed, if it were a triangle. But instead we're getting increasing volume as so. So I'm not going to go into that count too much. We could also be looking at this WXY, where in this case it would be an ABC down for this W wave, ABC up for this X wave, and we could have actually just completed an ABC for a zigzag down for this Y wave. So if we're considering this all an a wave A for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave A, up for a WXY for wave B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave C. In this case, we could have actually just put in this wave Y, which would have completed this primary wave 4. So this count and the running flat could have just, in the case that either of these two counts are correct, then the primary wave 4 would have been put in right here, or it could be very close to being put in if we count a little bit lower. Alright, so now let's go ahead and zoom into some of the more local price action right here. Let's hide the volume profile. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. And the main local count that I'm looking at right now is this one right here, because if we're assuming the bottom was put in right here, then ideally what we want to see is a 5-wave impulse off these lows to at least give us a signal that the temporary bottom is in. So in this case, we could make a 5-wave impulse off these lows to give us a wave A or a wave 1 in the case that this is all a wave 1 here. So this would be of microdegree. This would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this wave 3, down for this wave 4, up for this wave 5. And this could have all completed a sub-minuet wave 1. This could all be a sub-minuet wave 2, or this could actually all be an A, down for a B, and this could all be a C wave. So there's a few ways we can interpret this C wave. How I'm interpreting it right now, or one option on how we can interpret it is this being a leading diagonal in the case that this is all a wave 1 of this larger wave 3 in the case of a larger impulse wave. Or this could all be an ending diagonal in the case of a wave C. So this would be an A, B, C. And then we could expect to get a pretty sizable rejection off these highs. Now the way I would count this right here would be a 1, 2, 3. So this would probably be the wave 2 ending right here. This would be an A, B, C for the wave 3, 4. And then this would all be an A, B, C for this 5th wave. Now, I'm not going to give this count too much emphasis. I'm not going to be basing any trades off this count. I just wanted to show you guys mainly what we could be looking at, that we have indeed put in an impulsive wave right here, which could be a wave 1 or a wave A. And this section right here is a little bit tricky. There are multiple ways we could count it. For all we know, it could still be corrective. In the case of some sort of flat count, where this is all wave B, we could come down for wave C to complete this wave 2, like so. But in general, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait and see to kind of just see what happens in terms of a swing trade. I'm not gonna be taking any large. I'm not gonna be filling any large positions based off this local count that I have right now. I would ideally like to see something more like this: a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then get in on a pullback of a larger impulse wave. So if we got an impulse wave as so, then I'd probably be looking to get a entry somewhere down here once we get a pullback from this larger impulse. So that's basically all I wanted to go over for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see in the future and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video in the Discord server. All right, take care. Bye.